Who likes creating expectations? I think all of us do. So, an expectation is as simple as, okay, let's use the example me and Zander used. Expectation is as simple as when I'm walking down the street and I'm smiling at a stranger and that stranger does not smile back at me, what's my immediate reaction? Yeah. Just like, hey, be better. Be better. Have we got any reason to say that? No. Got zero reason to say that. We don't know them. We don't know what they're going through. And if the only reason why we're smiling at them is because we desire to get a smile back, and I think the reason why we do that, the reason why we build these expectations, the reason why we try and paint, or actually not only paint, but force our will onto reality and try to dictate what has to happen, is because we're still stuck in that thing from which all the brokenness comes. What is that thing from which the brokenness comes? The ego, the I, me. Because once again, our example. I'm walking down the street, smiling at a stranger. I expect them to smile back. They don't smile back, I'm disappointed. I create that expectation from this ego, from this desire to be the one that determines how the world looks and not actually work with the reality in front of me. I get disappointed. That's a small example, because I think the actual truth is that almost 100% of the things that cause us pain and sorrow coming in from the outside is as a result of the expectations we have created, and when reality does not meet it. Who has had a relationship heartbreak? That's expectations, friends. That's expectations. Either not matching up to the expectations, which we have to admit at times, or living with this expectation that everything is going fine, meanwhile, We create expectations as to what makes life good for us as well. I will live a good life when I've arrived at that job I want. I will live a good life if I finally get that person to spend the rest of my life with. I will live a good life if I've achieved this goal I'm striving towards. I will live a good life if I'm acknowledged and seen for who and what I am. I will live a good life if that ego is fed. And that breaks us. It really breaks us. And it doesn't break us in the sense that we end up in one or other mental institute or we cannot even get out of our own bedroom. It breaks us in the sense that it holds us back from truly living life to its fullest and as far as possible not allowing too many disappointments to kill something of the joy that the dear Lord has given us within our hearts. Because we're so busy trying to understand, why does my reality not match up to these expectations I have? That's where the why questions come from. Why did they leave me? I expected them to stay with me, but they didn't. Why did I not pass this test? I expected to pass this test, but I didn't. Why am I not where I think I should be? I expected it, but that's not what it is. So if it's true that expectations we create without a lot of basis in reality. Expectations we create tend to cause a lot of the pain and the sorrow and the heartache we experience. And if it's true that these expectations are built from that which we call the I, the ego, the me, my needs, my desires, that which I want out of this life, then doesn't it start to make sense when Christ tells us that the only road to redemption leads through death? That you will only have life in its fullest if you die away. If you kill that which is causing so much turmoil, that which is creating so many expectations, that which shouldn't be there. Before we encountered Christ, we lived a life built on expectations. And that breaks us. When we encounter Christ, we encounter reality. We encounter truth. What is it that we encounter? We encounter a person who sits weeping tears of blood, saying, "Dear Lord, I cannot drink this cup. If it is possible in any way, shape, or form for this thing to pass me by, let it pass me by. I cannot be humiliated. I cannot be tortured. I cannot be killed. I do not think I'm strong enough to endure this pain that is coming my way. If it can, let it pass me by." And I think that's often also our immediate reaction when God really starts knocking. We're like, "Lord, it was lekker to hear about your grace. I like learning about your love. But don't come to me with this idea of sacrificing. Don't come to me with this idea of the ego death. Don't come to me with this idea that I need to try and find places within which I can suffer and put aside myself. No, Lord, give me the good news." But that's part of the good news. It's an unavoidable part of the good news. The biggest thing that gets in the way between us and the Lord is ourselves, friends. Time and time and time again, we get in our own way. It's not other people. It's not our families. It's not our friends. It's not the world around us. It's not that which we watch on TikTok or YouTube or Instagram. It's us. So if we are the biggest reason why there tends to be an obstacle, a separation between us and Christ, what needs to be removed? What needs to be removed? Us. Thank you, Jasper. It's difficult to say. It's difficult to think. But it's unavoidable. It really is unavoidable. And once again, back to our example. Why it's worth it. I'm walking down the street. I'm smiling to a stranger. They do not smile back. The reason I'm smiling at them isn't because I expect them to smile back. The reason I smile at them is because I want to. Don't expect anything from them. I just want to. It's freeing. It's liberating. It truly enables us to do life. How many of our anxieties and our stresses come from the expectations we create? All of them. Remove that from the picture. When we function from the ego, from the I, we do not live. God doesn't only promise that life everlasting will be ours on the other side of the grave. Christ also promises us that we can live life in its fullest now already. Experience the freedom. Experience the unshackled nature. Experience liberation. Experience being raised up. Experience sitting there. Experience more heaven than earth now already. And not only experience that for ourselves, but share that.